Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. And today's video, I am doing a challenge for the Snap, Scrap, Repeat group on Facebook. It's a group set up by Amy Cattenbelt, who's on the Here Little Magpie design team, and she's put up a recipes challenge for this week. I've popped it in the top left-hand corner there. It's to use pale yellow, a heart, pattern paper, mixed media and a black background. So I really have gone for a black background, and I'm using a plain black cardstock for my background. Go and check out the group if you're on Facebook. It's a brilliant group. Amy's got lots of exciting plans ahead, and her example for this challenge was absolutely stunning. I really did fall in love with that. So please do go and join the group and check it out. I'll try and remember to list that in the description box down below. So I've used my mixed media there on my black background. I've used a Shimmers paint it's an Inklings Good as Gold, and I'm just leaving that to dry and working on a strip on the left hand side of the page, which is this 49er Market Spectrum Gardenia paper in a pale yellow. So that ticks the pale yellow on the recipe. And the photo that I'm documenting, you see on the left-hand side of the screen there, is James down at the NEC Birmingham. There was an Autosport International show that he went to with college on Friday and got to see some amazing racing cars. This is a Ford RS200, if that means anything to anybody. Not to me, but he was very excited to have seen it. There were only 200 produced in the end, and it was... This specific one was used in the Pikes Peak race in the USA, which apparently is a big hilly race. I don't know. So I printed the photo in 4x4. I changed it to a square format on my iPhone and then copied it into notes and printed it from there, and that prints it on a 4x6 page with a little white border and then obviously more white at the bottom, and then I just trimmed it out. And now I've just pulled out loads of old bits and pieces from my old stash. So this is a Vicky Boutin Sweet Rush 6x12 sticker sheet, and at the moment I'm thinking of using that Loving This Day title, which works perfectly with the photo. In the end I do switch that out because the colours are just too bright for all the other bits and pieces that I've pulled in. This is an old Heidi Swap sticker book, and I love these gold chevrons. Well, they're gold photo corners, but I always use them as chevrons. And the shape that I want to create on my layout is almost like a sideways T. So you've got the yellow as the top of the T, and then I want to have the layout extending out to the right, more or less in the middle here. So this is the start of extending that out by using these chevrons. The stripy black and white paper that I've stuck next to the yellow paper is the branding strip from a Jen Hadfield paper, Stargazer I think it was called. And then I'm just going through this sticker book and choosing any of the phrases or elements that I think will work nicely on this page. So this flag just says keep curious, and then that's a black flare badge with snapshots written on it. I actually designed that for a page kit that we sold on Hey Little Magpie, so I had a couple left over, and so I just grabbed that from my stash. And then that lovely circular label there, and then this gorgeous blue teal one, which I'm going to pop on the bottom. I think teal goes so nicely with, or turquoise, so nicely with yellow, so I wanted to bring that colour in as well. But you can see everything I'm using is much more muted than that title, so I'm really struggling to make that work. I love this Instax frame, so I'm going to tear that in half, only because I couldn't see my scissors. I put them somewhere else on my desk. So just adding half at the top here, and then the half at the bottom actually has a space for the date, so I will use my roller date stamp to add that later on. So just tucking that under the stripy paper. In the end I decide that I do need to trim a bit off, and see my scissors are just lying there on the left hand side of my desk, just out of my eye line. So trim that off and get that tucked under. And then there's the heart that needs to be added from the recipe, and just another sticker from that sheet. And it's at this point that I decide that I'm going to switch out that title. Like I say, just a little bit too bright for this. I've stuck it back on the sticker sheet, and I'm sure it will be used in the future. But I reach into these Simple Stories Simple Vintage Essentials stickers. I love these, and I know that I've been hoarding them a little bit because they're just so fabulous, and they'll work with any collection. So I chose Today from there, and just going to tuck that frame in the bottom, as I mentioned. Just fiddle about a little bit to get it in the place that I'm happy with. And then back to the Heidi Swap sticker book to see what else I can find. And I find some word stickers here. There's one that says life is good that's going to go across the bottom there, and it just hangs off the edge of that turquoise teal label and looks nice on there. These are semi-translucent. And now this is my little box full of bits. These are all the ephemera bits and fussy cut bits that don't belong in collections anymore. And I just throw them in this box. That was just a punched out tab that I'd done previously with white card. So I thought that would work nicely at the top there. And then I'm looking to bring that teal in because I've only got it in that label at the bottom at the moment. So just having a look through to see what I can see. And then I see this 49 and Market Square here. So I just trim that in half because I can use the other half on another layout and tuck that in that left-hand side. And then, of course, it looks a bit lonely on its own, so I need to find something else to add there. So just adding some glue to the back and sticking that down. And then you'll see I pull out this frame, and this has been fussy cut from a Cocoa Vanilla. I think it was These Days collection, one of their papers. So I'm just going to use half of that tucked under. Obviously getting rid of the flowers because they don't really work on this layout. And then getting that stuck down. And I love how this is building up now. And then I find this Happy die cut piece. I think this is from a Rosie's Studio ephemera pack. So Happy Today is going to be my title. I think that works nicely. And I'm just looking to see what else. And then I find this peace sign. It's a gold foiled piece. I don't know why. I really don't enjoy using peace signs on my layouts. So I tried tucking it in so that it disguises the fact it's a peace sign. And then in the end, after messing about for a little while, I decided to cut it in half, and I use half at the bottom and half at the top of the layout. And in fact, the top piece looks a little bit like a colour wheel or a pinwheel. And the bottom piece has just got, it looks like it's been quartered or something, I don't know. But it definitely doesn't look like a peace sign anymore, so I'm much happier with that. So you can see there when it's tucked in, it just looks almost like it's been cut into quarters. And this one, again, like I say, like a bit like, I suppose, a wagon wheel or something really. So just making sure that I'm happy with the exact positioning, and then I can just squirt some glue underneath to stick that down. Same with the top one. And I've still got that title to stick down, so I'm just going to tuck that in. Make sure it's nestled in nicely so it looks like one piece. I'm sorry for the change in lighting there. I suddenly realised it was getting really dark and I hadn't put my light on. I normally always film with a ring light, and for whatever reason I haven't put it on today. So as it got darker I had to switch that on. So there's a slight change of the light. So I just stuck that Snapshots flare badge down with some black thread underneath, and then I pulled out one of our canvas flares from Hey Little Magpie, and I'm just sticking that at the top. And then these are some little enamel dots that I had in my stash, so just adding a couple of those about the page. The white stands off really nicely against the black, so they were perfect to use here. And then one of the little tweed dots that we sell at Hey Little Magpie as well. And now I just wanted to add a little ribbon loop to the left-hand side of the photo. It's just a different texture and I really like the look of those, and it just sort of finishes off that cluster on the left-hand side there, where I've got all the layers. So now into the Simple Vintage Essentials sticker book from Simple Stories, and I'm just looking for some little phrases to add. So I find one that says be happy at the top on that tab, and then I'm looking through to see what else, because I want to put where he was. And then I find these typewriter letters, and I think they will spell NEC perfectly. And then once I've done those, I just use my T-square ruler to check that they're straight. And then I'm going to flip the page over in that sticker book to the black tile letters with white letters and spell the word Birmingham, because it was NEC Birmingham. And these are brilliant to use on a black background. They just sort of blend in. So very happy with how they looked. The word did go a little bit too far across the right, so I do have to mess around with those chevrons a little bit. You can see it's overlapping the first chevron. So I just move them all back and have them bunched slightly closer together, and that works just fine. And once they're moved, I'm going to add my journaling underneath the word Birmingham. And obviously, because I'm writing on black card, I've had to pull out my white Signo gel pen. Still works really nicely, so I was pleased with that because it's been a little while since I've used it. So just adding my guidelines as usual with my pencil and then writing my journaling on there. So now another heart from some Ellie Studio puffy hearts, just in grey, and then my roller date stamp to add the date to that frame at the bottom, and that's it done. I really hope you've enjoyed the process. I thoroughly enjoyed creating with this recipe that Amy had provided us. Do go and check out that Facebook group, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.